First, attachment and trauma. Northoff sees attachment from a neuroecological perspective. The LRTC of the self is nested within that of a larger social and natural ecology. Attachment, and the trauma that results from disrupted attachment, results from the quality of this nesting and dynamic influence on an infant's pre-affective brain. That is, a brain that has not yet developed even the sophistication for affect and cognition. Northoff quotes from Brockman, who says that attachment begins before emotions, and indeed belongs to a different biological system than emotions. Viewing the infant brain as a biological system, the temporospatial dynamic of which nests within that of the mother's brain and the social and natural world that she is part of, like nested Russian dolls, is another paradigm shift for how we conceptualize developmental health in a child. By the way, Northoff, if you're listening, how can we recreate healthy temporodynamic nesting in the therapeutic chamber such that it stimulates neuroplasticity in brains harmed by early attachment trauma? Hit me up in the comments. The next topic is depression. Northoff's discussion of depression in Neuropsychoanalysis, as in his 2016 Neurophilosophy, dovetails nicely with recent approaches to mental wellness that focus on dynamic balancing and neural plasticity across brain areas. Northoff highlights the regulatory function of counter-inhibitory neural networks in the brain. Two of these networks are the default mode network and the central executive network, the DMN and the CEN. In depression, the modulation between the DMN and CEN becomes out of balance, marked by hyperconnectivity within the DMN and hypoconnectivity in the CEN. Since the DMN correlates to self-related cognition, and the CEN with the environment, it could be said that depression tends the mind towards rumination of the self and away from interaction with one's environment, as in social isolation and decreased motivation. I'm concerned that this conclusion could stigmatize the depressed, suggesting that a person is depressed because they are self-centered. Regardless, if an individual's cognition appears to be circling around matters of the self, a gentle redirection toward the environment, as perhaps in mindfulness practice, or the artful manipulation of a client's attention towards and away from the self, as in the Zen master's trickery, could affect a dynamic rebalancing between the DMN and the CEN, eventually enhancing the plasticity of those neuronal shifts such that they occur more readily in the future. Over time, this neuronal aptitude could lead to improvement in the cognitive and affective wellness of a client and a reduction in depressive symptoms. Spatiotemporal neuroscience and the accompanying spatiotemporal psychotherapy could be the future of the brain and mental health treatment. Although psychoanalysis is not as popular in therapy culture as it once was, neuropsychoanalysis is doing incredible work knitting together the disciplines of neuroscience, philosophy, and psychotherapy into a unified perspective. The brain's activity extends dynamically across space and time. So does the psychic content that appears in our consciousness, the stuff we call us, me, the world, love, and life. There's more to learn, and spatiotemporal neuroscience is taking us there. It's exciting.